Are you looking to leverage the latest and best ideas to grow your advisory business from the best minds in the industry? Join us every Wednesday at noon Pacific for our speaker series, featuring dynamic guests sharing real strategies for real results. Brought to you by The Best Notary, where we help estate planning attorneys grow their business with less stress and more success.
Welcome you
Yes.
to another session of the Best Notary Speaker Series. Today's guest is Ali Goff, and she's talking about AI and delegation, how you can leverage technology and systems to save time. This series is all about connection and about highlighting trusted advisors in the professional services space. The host today is the Best Notary, and Eli will introduce her in a moment. Before we begin, here are a few reminders. This presentation is being recorded. You'll receive a copy of the slides after the session. The recording will also be available later on YouTube. Feel free to put questions in the chat during the session, and she can respond to them during the session. And I will turn it over to you, Eli, to introduce our guest.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. So glad to have Ali here with us. We met her some time ago at the Wealth Council Symposium, I think, for the first time. And I've been in
Been a
touch with
while,
her.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. So Ali is the founder and CEO of Goff Legal, PC, a fast-growing California boutique law firm focused on estate planning and administration. A seasoned attorney and certified performance coach, Ali blends legal expertise with a passion for helping business owners build stronger, more efficient organizations. She's known for creating systems at scale, cultivating high-performing teams, and delivering a client experience that is both personal and impactful. In addition to running her firm, Ali regularly speaks to business and professional groups on leadership, growth, and the smart use of technology. She has presented for the Professional Fiduciary Association of California, also known as PFAC, the Placer County Bar, and the National Business Institute, among others. Her approach bridges the gap between big picture strategy and practical day-to-day execution, where things get really sticky sometimes. Active in the business community, Ali is a member of Provisors, the South Placer Estate Planning Council, and the Rockland Area Chamber of Commerce, and serves on multiple boards and committees. Based in Loomis with her husband, two sons, and a small menagerie of pets, Ali understands firsthand the demands of business ownership and the need for systems that make more space for what matters, both professionally and personally. Ali, help us make sense of all of this AI stuff and how we can use it to grow our businesses.
Yes, let's do it. I'm excited. So today I'm going to be, thank you for the intro, by the way. I sound wonderful. I sound like a business owner, which I am. I am a lawyer by trade, but I run a business and I'm really passionate about the business operations, which is why we were talking about AI and delegation. I have titled this, with the help of AI, Delegate Smarter, Not Harder, how AI can supercharge the way you work. This is really for business owners, fiduciaries, professionals, anyone who really wants to scale without losing control. When Eli and I were talking about what would be relevant to sort of the business community, everyone's talking about AI, but there's still some hesitation. Like, I don't know, this seems scary. I'm not really sure about this. Should I be using it? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. We, as in, I'm going to be talking about today. Let's see how I can make my, oh, there we go. You're going to see some actual AI tools that I'm using. I'm going to go through some of them. I'm going to have my eyeballs sort of down at the chat when I can, but feel free to throw in some questions, suggestions. If you have AI tools you love, please put them in there. We can send them out at the end and have sort of a compilation. I'll go through a few. I'm being paid by nobody, by the way, including any of these AI products. So if I share them, it's because I've used them or I've liked them, not because I get something for them. Someday someone will pay me to promote their stuff. But for now, it's all just me. So first, let's talk about the delegation dilemma, right? Most business owners really they carry everything, right? Best of intentions. It's faster if I do it myself. Raise your hand if you've ever said that one. Yeah, I've said that maybe this week already. It feels really great in the short term, but really is a very bad decision in the long term. Um, and there's this misnomer, right? That if you delegate, you're lazy. And I think that's wrong. I think it's leadership. I think when you step into a place of leadership, you are able to have someone else take over something that they maybe are better at than you, that they can repeat on a regular basis. My quick fix trap, right? Every time you handle a task yourself, it becomes a recurring time leak because you keep doing it every time. When you delegate it, it's now gone from your plate, can keep going, can be automated, systematized, and you're not doing it, which means you get to focus on something else. And this is 80% rule, which someone made up. I didn't come up with it, but I liked it, so I borrowed it. What are you doing today that someone else could do 80% as well? Honestly, I will argue that they'll probably do it better than you most of the time. Lawyers don't like there we go. Pareto principle. Thank you, Eli, for their great one wisdom. A lot of lawyers, we think we're really important and special, by the way. I got a law degree, I'm so fancy, blah, blah, blah. And they think no one can do it better. No one's a better lawyer. And I'm like, listen, I've hired 3 phenomenal lawyers in my office, all who either do something better than me or most things better than me as a lawyer because they get to be a full-time lawyer. I hired them because of their expertise. I trust them with my clients, but that wasn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. And it wasn't the first thing I did in my business. So I have been all over the business board from like, I've done it everything myself to why do I have to do this? So I'm coming to you with words of wisdom and I've been through the trenches. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the real cost of doing it. You see how sad she is? Oh, she's so sad. By the way, I used AI to create this presentation. I had ChatGPT help me with the outline. Um, I had Gamma, which I'm using for the slide deck. I'm telling you, game changer. I don't know if you've used ChatGPT and you're like, it goes, would you like me to create a slide deck? And you're like, that would be great. And then it spits out garbage. You're like, this is useless. I cannot even do anything with this. Gamma, I was like, put in literally, so, right, had AI help me figure some stuff out. I personalized it, corrected it, made it sound like me, had the information, made sure it was correct, right? Then I fed it through Gamma and it gave me a really good start that I tweaked and modified and added. So you're welcome, Gamma. Put that on the
We
list.
love Gamma, Ali. We are huge
Love
fans of Gamma
Gamma.
as well. We
Yeah.
use it for more
Yeah.
presentations.
Oof. Now, and I'm going to talk about today, I mean, how to use how to use AI to delegate to a people, to a person, but also you can also use AI tools to delegate to. Like there's more than one way to use AI in your delegation atmosphere. Um, I have used Canva's slideshow flyer creation. Same thing, hit or miss for me. Sometimes it works really well. Sometimes I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? So try out Gamma. It's free. I'm on their free program. This was all done with free stuff. So no harm, no foul in trying that one out. Okay, real cost of doing it all, right? So every time you handle a 25 an hour task, instead of focusing on a $500 decision, you're giving yourself a pay cut, right? Especially if you're a lawyer or the business owner. Your time is worth a lot of money. And if you insist on drafting emails or creating flyers or answering the phone and screening whether it's a good fit or not for your business, right? You are devaluing yourself, but you're also not getting to probably do the part of the business you really wanted to do. Um, the worst part about this is you already know this. This isn't like a surprise. Oh, I had no idea I was devaluing myself. Yes, you did. Why are you doing it? I don't know. I have some thoughts. I have some ideas of why people insist on keeping some of these tasks. Um, so some of the things that I've thought through, and that I wanted to point out and list in terms of like, what is the cost of this? Is doing everything isn't dedication. It feel, oh, I'm so busy. People need me, right? You want to be needed, you want to be valued, right? It's expensive as a leader. If you want to be a leader, you should be spending your time on relationships and strategy, developing the leadership of your team, right? That's going to create longevity, continued success, better retention of your employees. If you're focused on doing their job, they're going to be like, why do you need me? I'll go somewhere else. I'll do something else. Innovation. I love creating stuff, letting my brain go crazy. Here's the other issue. If you're if you're the most capable person in your business, it's not a compliment. That's a problem. That means your business will fail if you're not there. If you get sick, if you go on vacation, if you die, right? One of those is a reality and the other two are possibilities, right? That's not a great business model, right? So we want to think about how can we use some of these tools to really enhance our business, improve it. And when this is the sort of mindset shift I'm going to invite you on today, when you delegate, you don't lose control, you're gaining time. So we're trading something for something else. We're trading something of value for something else. And you get consistency. I will tell you, if you train your team to do something right, they're probably going to do it right more often than you are. I'm always the worst offender. Hey guys, let's create a system, a process. And then I'm like, I don't have time for that. I'm just gonna do it real quick the way I used to do it. And the team's like, what the actual hell are you doing, Allie? You have made our lives harder. Never mind. Stepping out of the business, back into strategy and letting them do their job and not getting in the way. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Okay, let's talk about the art of effective delegation. I got this question, I still get it. And I think Eli was wondering, like, how do you do this? What does delegation look like? What is it really? What are some of the steps involved in delegation? And this isn't like a thing that you can learn this. You can learn how to delegate. All of us have learned how to delegate. No one popped out of the womb going, I'm going to delegate. Although my kid is surprisingly good at delegating. He's an 8-year-old. And I was like, hey, Henry, will you know, go get that thing? And he goes, Oliver, go get the thing. And I'm like, gosh, dang it. I mean, it did work, but that's not what I wanted from you. So he'll be fine. He'll be a great delegator. He won't be liked, by the way, because the way he does it is not really effective and no one likes being told what to do. So let's go through some of the specific things that I think need to be included in delegation. First, clarity. Be clear on what you want before you ask someone to do it. If you garbage in, garbage out, this works for AI tools. This also works for humans. But when we're talking especially to an AI tool, you need to make sure that you know what you're looking for as the outcome. You don't necessarily need to know every step. Every step is not important. A lot of times when I delegate something to a team member, I delegate the outcome and I trust them to figure out the steps because that's their zone of genius. They know the process. I know what I want it to look like, and I don't necessarily care how it gets done. So I'm detached from how it gets done as long as the outcomes are really clear. Communication, explain the why. Again, these things are going to come popping back up when we talk about prompts. This is not just for people, but this works both for AI delegation and human delegation. When they know the purpose, they can interpret and make some better decisions based on that information. Why are you creating this system, this process, this procedure? Why is this document important? That will dictate what the steps are and what goes into that. Confidence, maybe the hardest one to do, which is to not take it back. Gosh dang it, even if they do it wrong. You've given up to the delegation monsters or whoever they are that go, oh, they didn't do it perfect. You should take it back and do it perfectly. Your team will lose trust in you. And you'll have that stupid task back again. Great job. No. Let's not do that. And then documentation. This is the key to our systems and our scaling. Documentation has got to be part of it because invariably you're going to have to do something like this again in the future. You're going to have another employee. You're going to want to replicate this system for a new product offering. Make sure it is documented because it will save you hours and days of your life if you document how things are done, why they are done. Both of those are keys, right? So those are the keys. All right, there we go.
Can I
No
just
questions
real
yet.
quick,
Yeah.
Ali? what has been the best place and way to document that has worked for you? We've kind of gone through this internally ourselves a few different times. Google
Yeah.
Sites, Slack, Canvases. What has been effective for you?
Yeah. Oh, there's a chat. Someone said scribehow.com. I'm going to check that one out. So I'm going to grab that from the chat in a second. We use a combination of Google Documents, kind of, boring, but we've got our systems and procedures. They're indexed in a virtual folder that's like, here's how you answer the phones and here's how you do this. I know someone else who uses Sweet Process, more it's sort of like an interactive training manual and everything sort of it's more sophisticated and probably easier to search. My best advice is find one platform and use it, because where we've gotten into trouble is some stuff is in Slack and some stuff's in a Canvas. And one time I put a Word document in Google Drive, and then sometimes I do a Google Sheet, and then sometimes I emailed it. And then we had a team meeting and I put it on a whiteboard and we took a picture and we put it back in Slack. Not helpful. Where the F is the thing? Said everybody. And they went, fuck it. We're gonna do it again. And then recreate the thing. And so pick one platform. It's like a social media marketing, but also pick one platform when you're going to be like documenting your processes. You can change it, but for at least the time being, pick one. But yeah, I
Great,
am I
great,
am
great
curious.
advice.
There's another one, Notion. Okay, so there's a couple of different like tools as this technology is evolving, and it's evolving like lightning speed. By the time someone watches this in February of next year, half the stuff I say might be out of date because half the tools will be changed or new or different. Like you have to be on top of it. Um, don't get don't get taken advantage of by the bright shiny AI things, right? Be really careful about what I'm going to talk into some do's and don'ts in just a second. But it's not all no, they're not all perfect. They're not all
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. What are we going to delegate? So let's identify. I'm glad that she has her checklist backwards, by the way. Very key indication that AI created the photo. Something's not quite right. At least her fingers are, she only has 4 or 5 of them. So we're safe there. At least it's a cartoon. So what are we going to delegate? Start by identifying your bottlenecks, really the things that drain your energy, that you repeat often or require too much of your attention, because you're not going to be able to um, delegate everything all at once. It is going to be small chunks at a time, maybe even one task at a time. But the more you do it, the more will become off your plate, the better you'll get at it, right? This is a learning opportunity, and the more time you're going to have free to do these sorts of things. So three questions. So this is something you can do. What are the 3 things that exhaust you, like mentally? You're like, I'm gonna die if I have to do those one more time. Mine was email. I hate emails with a fiery passion, which is why we have Slack in our office. Yeah, Eli too. We use Slack in our office for all internal communications. No one is allowed to email me in my team. Do not email me. I don't want it. Thank you so much. There's a Slack channel for that. But now I'm using Fixer AI to help figure out how to sort the emails so that all the garbage marketing stuff isn't in my front view. Only the things that I really need to respond to are there. And that's helped me as one of those tools. So I found a tool to solve that particular problem while I'm searching for my next executive assistant. Yes, and I do have, I guess, transparently, I do get a deal or discount or something if you sign up, but so do you. So there you go. Have fun. I think it's free to try it. Does this require my license, my brain, or unique relationship? If it does, you might want to keep it, or you might need to figure out who is best to delegate it to. As a lawyer, I delegate lawyer tasks to other lawyers, not to paralegals, not to legal assistants. So one thing you might need to do is go, oh, I need to hire someone to delegate this thing. I hate client meetings. Then you'd better find someone who can deal with clients. If you disappeared for 2 weeks, what would fall apart first? Oh, hopefully you planned your disappearance. I took 30 days off from my business this year in a row, one full month. I was like, Bye. See you all later. I love you. Didn't check my email, didn't talk to my team. It was glorious. And some stuff fell apart, right? And we figured it out. Yeah. Eli, you were gonna say something?
Let's say that that is a hallmark of success. When you can do that, you can see that the systems are working.
The
I
system's
did do
working.
a 10-day Vipassana retreat back in 2016 where I had no access to my phone for 10 whole days, and the company survived. So
The company
that's proof right
survived.
there. How you know?
Yeah, I love that. I had a fiduciary. She was, as a client, we represent a number of licensed private fiduciaries, and she was going to Burning Man. And if you know Burning Man, there is no internet access. Also, you don't want to be connected to the real world. It is a special, magical place. I've never been there, but I've heard tales. So we
It's,
figured out,
you have to go, Ali. It's
I
definitely
do,
one
it's
of
on
the
my bucket list.
yes.
We figured out how to delegate some of her things that she needed to do. One of them was by using a power of attorney, so that if
Mhm.
this house, of course, needed to be sold while she was gone, someone could complete the sale for her. That's a
Mhm.
different version of delegation. She had to think about it in advance, but there's solutions for most of this stuff. It's a small delegation thing, but it made a big impact because she got to go away without her cell phone as a fiduciary. Like that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Crazy.
Yeah. Bonus tip here, if something feels repetitive, documentable, or beneath your genius and you have much genius to share, it's a delegation candidate. I don't care if you're good at it. Is it really what you should be doing? Do you like it? Right? These are things you want to think about. All right. Why don't we delegate? Perfectionism. No one can do it like me. Yes, they can, by the way. But false. These are all false, but I'm gonna say them anyways. Um, Time scarcity. I don't have time to train someone. I cannot tell you how many times I've heard that in my own office. I was like, hi, you shouldn't do this task. I'm just so busy. I don't have time to train someone. And then they do that thing 10 more times. Like, if you would have taken one of those hours to train someone, you would have had 9 free hours to do other more productive things. And then financial fear. I think a lot of this is alleviated or can be addressed with offshore remote people, part-time, gig workers, TaskRabbit. Like you can go to all these various platforms and hire fractional people, fractional CFOs, fractional assistants. There's a huge marketplace for wonderful talent. That does not mean you have to hire a full-time salaried employee with a 401k and insurance. That's not the way it is. So Upwork, yes, exactly. There's so many great places and so many really wonderful people with their genius willing who want to share. You can hire them by the project or by the hour, those sorts of things. They can help you maybe set up the delegation, right? You can hire someone to help you create these systems and get things organized, and then bring in the person who's going to execute all of it, right? I don't know, I've got so many options. So systematize once, document once, reuse forever. That's the plan. Right? Once you systematize it and document it, then you get to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and tweak it a little bit. Let's change this, let's change this. But it's going to run. It's going to run for you. Ooh, Who, Not How book. Yes, that's a great book. I need to reread that one on my list. I have a long list of books. Okay, I'm going to back up just a little bit and make sure I'm touching on some of the things that I want to make sure that we catch in this presentation. What is AI in plain English? Because if you're thinking it's sci-fi robots, chat GPT taking over humanity, I'm not so sure you're wrong. There's some scary stuff in AI, but this is what you need to know about AI so we can use it for delegation. It is a pattern recognition system that predicts what you want based on what you give it. It's not thinking, it's not judging, it's not plotting. I like this. It's basically autocomplete with the gym membership and a lot of confidence. It's not going to give you the correct answer. It is going to give you the answer it most likely thinks you want to hear, or the most likely answer based on the wild world of the internet and what it's collected from humanity and all that entails. And if you're like, that's a scary place, that's correct. You need to be really careful how much you're relying on it. Really good synthesizing information. Summarize this document. Oh, love that. In my G Suite or Google Suite or whatever you want to call that thing that houses all my life. There's a little AI there and goes, summarize this set of emails, summarize this document. I'm like, oh, that was really helpful. Thank you so much. Writing, organizing, categorizing, brainstorming. Love brainstorming. Love, love, love. Like get the brain juices going. And drafting. It cannot read your mind. It cannot understand real context without instructions. It does not know your business. If you think it knows your business and you ask it a question, it will make up things about your business to then give you an answer that it thinks you want. And it, for God's sakes, on all that is green and holy, is not for judgment, ethics, or professional standards. So many lawyers now have been in trouble for using AI to create briefs that literally make up cases. And they keep getting in trouble. Locally, not but an hour from my house, a local DA was in trouble for using AI, and a bunch of convictions are now being thrown out because the cases they used were false, because they were made up. Like, oh my God. It just drives me bonkers. So this is like the most important thing you need to know about it. Like it cannot replace you. It cannot replace your thinking. Do not let it. That's not the purpose. Not the purpose. Okay, but when it's safe to use. So this is the other big concern we have around AI is because it's coming really, yeah, trust but verify. Yes, yes, yes. You got it. You got it, Eli. Is it safe? Can I use it? Is it leak my data? And if you are concerned about it, use it knowing it's a public space. If you treat it that way and only put in what you're comfortable getting out into the public, you're fine. That means think of it like I said, the analogy was a coffee shop. You're chilling, you're chatting with your best friend at a coffee shop. Anything you say can be heard by everyone around you, could be recorded by anyone around you, and shared with the wide world. So never, ever, ever confidential client information into a tool. I'm going to give you ways to use it safely, but don't ever put names, addresses, account numbers, medical information. That's not going to work really well because most of the AI tools don't have the encryption and the security measures necessary to protect that data. There are some that do. The enterprise version of ChatGPT is secure and is your own, and you can put whatever you want to in it. The pro version that you pay $20 a month for, no. The free version, absolutely not, because not only is it public, but they take your data and use it to train their models. So you're like, oh, holy hell. But do I care if AI knows that I asked it to help me create an outline on how to delegate using AI? No, I don't. There's no client data. There's nothing sensitive. There's nothing proprietary, by the way. Nothing you create with AI is protectable. You cannot trademark it, copyright it. It is not yours. Do not use it for that because it's not yours. But it's really, really good at creating draft templates. Create a template for this. Generate a script for my someone to answer my phone given this information, organize this workflow, build me a checklist. I love a good checklist. It's going to get you probably 75 to 85% of the way there. Maybe not the whole way. Yeah. Eli?
Yeah, I just want to say that there are models you can download to your computer.
Okay.
So that is basically a way to use AI models on your own data safely and locally. So these are not
Good.
connected to the internet. So there are tools like Olam, LM Studio that you could download that could help you, do some stuff on-prem.
Yep. Yeah. And just make sure you know which ones are which. Like,
Exactly.
one of the reasons I liked Fathom as a note taker, because their AI policy was really clear that they don't use my recordings to train their models and they don't share their recordings with anyone. And I was like, cool.
And they're
Thank
HIPAA
you. Welcome
compliant.
aboard. And they're
Got the
HIPAA
HIPAA.
compliant. Yeah, if you're in the medical industry or if you're dealing with any sort of PII, right? You're a fiduciary, you're an attorney, you've got to be aware of some of these higher standard financial advisors, right? We've got some really high standards. So keep in mind. Job descriptions. I hate job descriptions, but guess who can create them? AI can. I need a job description for this. Give them as much as you can, let it go hog wild, and you continuing on. So, real quick, I'll move on from this. Safe and smart use, 3 rules. No client data in ever. You are the editor, right? They're a drafter, you're the editor. Use your voice, your decision making, you finalize it. Don't ever just go, that was good enough. Like, you use your eyeballs and your brain to make sure that it says what you need to say. And you can teach it, right? You're going to get the best results when you teach it your tone, your role, your audience, the purpose, the format. You're like garbage in, garbage out, right? Long narrative prompt in, clean set of instructions and information out. I downloaded a transcript of some YouTube videos that I recorded, fed them in there and said, learn my voice, and then write an article. And I was like, that sounds just like me. Woohoo! Cleaned up some things, changed some things, and poof, now I've got a blog post, right? That's the kind of stuff that it can do and save time. And then the next level, now my staff creates the blog posts. I don't create those anymore, right? Because we've figured out the system, and then we've delegated that system to someone else.
Can I just
So
share a quick win?
yeah.
Sophia manages all of our speaker series events. So that was an amazing turn.
Hey, that's great. It's a lot. It's a lot of, there's a lot
A
in there,
lot.
right?
It's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. But now you could do more of them. You can be more effective. She probably has more creativity and more attention to them than you did. No offense. She has more time probably for it.
Yes, next level up is to broadcast these on LinkedIn Live. I just thought about that today,
Well,
Sophia. You know,
hey, oh, great. She's got more tasks.
yes.
That's great. I love that. Yeah. So, this save and smart rules really do help you in delegation, right? So these are all tied together. There's a reason why safety is part of that, but it's also part of the clarity portion of it. Okay, meet your co-pilot. I don't know, someday maybe we'll be talking to robots that are made out of AI. I'm not really sure. But the meat of this is, right, AI, I think, can be one of these delegation accelerators. First, you have to know what you're going to delegate. Second, you have to go get over yourself and decide you're going to delegate instead of keeping everything for yourself. And then the third thing is, okay, how do we accelerate that? How are we going to make sure that this is, um, you know, really going to benefit you? Because if it's not making your life easier, don't do it, right? If this isn't going to produce the result you want, what is the result you want? I'm going to go on vacation for 1 week without my email. Great. If that's your thing, let's figure out what you need to delegate, systematize, or document so that you can do that. And then is it 2 weeks? And then 3 weeks? Like, I practiced. I didn't just jump to 4 weeks. I was like, baby steps, weekends, 3-day weekends, 4 days in a row. So yeah. All right. So and AI, as I mentioned, this really does not replace people. It's going to replace repetition. So yeah, some of the administrative functions of jobs are going to go away. I still think we're going to need humans to use their brain and run these systems and do those sorts of things. So the thought is, think of AI as your assistant for assistance. I have an email, like I said, I have an email sorter. It sorts my emails, it pre-drafts them. I'm still going to hire an executive assistant. I still need someone, a person, to be the human connection for me to go, hey, can you email that person? Can you create this list? I thought about this thing. Can you order me that? Can you check my flights? I need a person. AI, my cool note taker for $30 a month, is not going to take over that. It's just not. So, and I value the human part of my connection to my clients or my connection to my firm, and I'm hiring someone to help me with that, to do a better job of it. Um, the other thing about using some of these products is you don't need a tech background, right? You can really leverage some of these high level tools as I would say, regular tech consumer. You need to know how to use email, and you need to get on the internet, and all of you do because we're on Zoom today, so you're fine. Um, But AI, I mean, you can now create apps, you can create websites, flyers, checklists, ebooks, social media posts, blog posts. Like there's so much you can do. So much of that technical stuff now lives in these systems, and they really can help you out. We already talked about this. Train one, reuse forever. Um, Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything there. I did talk about like AI is not just for people, right? We're talking about there are tools that you can delegate. You can use AI to delegate. You can also delegate to AI. There's sort of two levels of that. Very meta. My favorite is having AI create a presentation about delegating to AI. I thought it was fun. And I literally was like, this shouldn't be hard for you because you are AI. So, all right. So let's get into some more of the practical things, some more of the hands-on things that you can take with you. Practical ways you can delegate. So standard operating procedures. Nobody likes drafting them, but they will help your business scale and grow and not kill you because it'll be written down somewhere, or maybe it's in a video, or maybe it's in a checklist, like however your standard operating procedures go. But this is one of my favorite things to use it for. Again, there's no client information. It's all about processes, checklists, procedures, standards, those sorts of things. And once it creates the bulk of it, you can clean it up and let it go. SOP, scribe how, looks at your screen and records it with screenshots, and then creates a PDF. Yes, I want that now. I'm gonna walk away with more AI tools than I walked in with, guys. um, Onboarding materials. This can work for clients. It can also work for your team members, right? People leave your business. People join your business. If you have to verbally say the same thing every time you onboard someone, depending on how fast you hire or quickly they leave, you're going to be talking a lot. We onboarded 9 people this year and 5 offboarded. Not, I mean, all mostly actually for good reasons. One, because it wasn't a good fit. Um, and the rest of them because they wanted a career change or something happened and shifted, but then we had to hire another person. So some of our stuff is very human, and some of it is like, please watch this set of videos. Some of it's self-directed, so they can like take a break and like watch some of the videos. So it's nice to have some stuff that is automated for your person who's onboarding, because then they're not in front of a Zoom screen 40 hours for the first week. Sometimes they need a mental break from these sorts of things. Workflows. Yeah, turn messy notes or voicemails into organized, actionable workflows. Fathom does this as the note taker, right? It's listening to all sorts of our stuff and it's going, and then it goes, here's your action items. Here's Allie's action items. Here's Stephanie's action items. Here's Eli's action items. Then you review it to make sure it's right, because it's every time you see AI. I was on Yeti today trying to customize something and arguing with their AI agent, which was wrong, by the way. And at the bottom was like, AI makes mistakes. I'm like, it sure does. It was wrong. Didn't have any memory, so I couldn't argue with it that it was wrong. It was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, templates. Oh my gosh, templates are a lifesaver. These set your standards. This sets the tone. This helps people make less mistakes. And if you don't have a template, have AI create it, you finalize it, get it into your library, and have people start using it. Worst case, have someone else create the template and you approve it. That works too. Like there's a number of ways we can delegate. They're probably going to use AI, by the way, to create the template. If you think your staff isn't using it, you're wrong. They might not be telling you about it, in which case you should have an AI policy for your business that all of your employees sign saying what we do and don't put in. See, thumbs up from the whatever did that. What we do and don't use AI for, and which tools we use. That's really, really important, especially in a law firm. We have an AI policy. Anyone should have those things. Have it help you figure out which is the most important thing for you to delegate, right? Use that. I like it. Okay. Here is a prompt framework. And I'm not going really deep into this because you could have an entire hour on prompts. And I have some on one of my blog prompts is probably 4 pages long. The prompt is 4 pages because it's really specific to SEO and marketing and all the things that the Google atmosphere wants. Those their own robots with their own AI stuff. It's funny though, they don't mind AI generated content as long as it's drafted like a human wrote it and has the magical keywords. And anyways, so
I'll
Eli,
do a
yeah,
quick little hack. You can actually ask it for a prompt
yep,
to do what you
yes,
need it to do, which is an incredible hack that,
yeah.
saves so much time.
Create me a prompt that does this thing. Copy the prompt, new chat, do this thing.
Boom, done.
Before you needed a different software, and now you just ask itself and it's fine. So really, really basic prompt framework. You are a blank. Tell them who they are. What is their role? Marketing manager, expert, lawyer, business owner, etc. Your task is, what are they going to do, right? What are they supposed to be doing? Create an output. What is the result that you want? And what are the details that you have, right? You are, I'll do one. You are oh, look, I have an example. See, I'm so smart. You are an operations manager. Create a checklist for onboarding a new trust administration client. I would go much further, right? You're an operations manager of a successful fiduciary business located in California. Create a comprehensive checklist that includes the following details for a new trust administration client with this information. Make sure the checklist is in plain English, has these following things, does not have this, and is in an easy read to format and fits on 3 pages or 2 pages, right? The second example I gave will get very different results than the first one. The first one, you'll go, huh, that's not bad. Cool. It's not going to have all of the things that are important to you. You might say, here's a checklist I've created. You are now the expert. You've reviewed the California probate code, which is a lot of words, by the way, but you could have it do that. Specifically, the section on trust administration, section so and so to so and so, right? We're onboarding a new client. What are the things that we need to do? What are the things the attorney needs to do? What information are we like? You can have it build out a ton of stuff. It might find things you weren't thinking about. It might put in stuff that doesn't exist. So make sure that you read it really carefully. Oh man. Um, yeah. I like asking what's missing. I'm like, okay. I took once a present like what the I was presenting for a nonprofit, and I was like, I have my slide deck, and then I have my outline, and then I had what they told their people I was going to be talking about. And so I fed it all to there and I said, is there anything missing? Did they promise anything that I'm not currently planning on talking about? And they were like, yep, this section. This is great. This is great. This doesn't happen. I was like, okay, adding section now. But that took 3 minutes, not 2 hours for me to comb through and try and figure that out. Like my brain is better for something else. You can enhance your prompts, make it friendly but professional, tabled or bulleted lists. There is some limitations depending on the type of software you're using, whether it can do charts well or not, whether it can do graphics or pictures. I had, maybe I'll pull it up if we have time. I had to create a list for me, a driving route because I was going to go on vacation. And I was like, would you like me to create a map for you? And I was like, absolutely. And the map was not of the United States or of any states that I was aware of. And it was so far off, I just died. So, yeah. The clearer you are, the better you get. Teach your staff this. If they're going to be using AI, come up with prompt templates. that can be used over and over, specifically the marketing, the blog, right? Don't just say, write me a blog on estate planning. You want to say, here are the blogs we've written on estate planning. Create 3 more blogs that are similar with these kinds of keywords, but are distinct enough and interesting enough that someone might want to read them and are not word for word, because that's going to be a problem for Google. And also have these spins. And also maybe are connected to the top 5 questions on Google about estate planning this week. Like, I'm a marketing expert now, it turns out. I'm not. I just am like, here's how we can pull this information. I look at my firm every so often because I'm trying to figure something out, and it brings up 4 questions that people are asking, and I screenshot it and I'll record videos later of those because I'm like, that's what people are asking. Well, I should record some content, but I can also have AI go and grab that. What are people in Roseville, California asking about estate planning this week?
And a great way, Ali, is to have it go to Reddit. There's actually a custom GPT, the GPT marketplace, that will go to Reddit and just pull up the latest,
Love,
kind of what's in people's minds around that topic. I'll put a
love.
link.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay. Um, okay, we're getting towards the end. I sort of planned for 45 minutes with some questions, so we might end well, depending on if people have more questions. So here's your delegation roadmap. Look how happy these people are. They're delegating. Identify 3 tasks that drain your brain and that don't need your brain power, right? Because you might get overwhelmed by, like, I have so many things. Again, this week's job is only 3. I just need you to pick 3. If that's too hard, 1. It's Wednesday. You have 2 days and a half left. You can find 1 thing to delegate this week, maybe even today. How about that? Systematize, right? Go into AI safely, create a documentation, a prompt, or a checklist for the 1 thing or those 3 things that you're going to delegate. And then either it's with a tool or a person. Sometimes it's easier to delegate to a person because you have feedback and relationships and trust. Cool. I'm down for that. Share with that person the process and the tool, and never start from scratch again. Put it into your library and then repeat it next week. Find 3 more tasks. You're going to get, like, obsessed with this. You're like, this is the greatest thing ever. It might take a few miles to do it. Like, it might be a little scary, but I'm telling you, it's going to change your life if you use it, and embrace it, because you're going to find out how much more time you have to do the things you love or to do nothing. Doing nothing is okay too. Having a break, like just breathing, taking a nap, whatever it is, like safe space. Um, let's see here. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Didn't like that one. There we go. Wrap up and next steps. Okay, so really this isn't just about offloading tasks, because if you're offloading a task, it's not systematized. It's not going to stay offloaded, right? It's really about stepping into leadership, using AI when appropriate to be that sort of co-pilot with you so that you can delegate faster and more effectively, probably more clearly. If I said I need to delegate a specific task to my staff, I would sort of word vomit at them what I'm thinking, and they might capture 25% of it. If I go into AI and word vomit into there and spend 5 minutes, only 5 minutes, having it create more and more detail and a few things built out and customized, and then handed it to my team member, they have so much more information about what was in my brain and are more likely to be able to complete that task to the level and the standard that I was looking for in the first place, but didn't know how to quite verbalize or put into writing. Delegation equals leverage, right? You get to, if you want to make more money, great. But if you want to help more people, if you want to make an impact in the world, delegation is one of those things. Partially because you're going to be hiring more people, which means they're going to have a job and they get to make an impact in the world, but also because they're going to be doing valuable work, right? And you get to do valuable work. Also, sometimes more money. It's a win-win. Also, they make more money because you've hired them. Like, I love this scenario. Help more clients, help more employees. I talked about a little bit, but AI really can be clarity for you. So transferring your vague ideas into concrete steps and actual items, that your team will appreciate it. Whoever works for you will appreciate it, even if they're like, "Did AI write this?" And you're like, "Yeah, but I helped it. Is it help? Does it help you enough to do your job?" Yes, thank you. No, let's figure out what you need. And then systems are freedom, right? We don't get to go and spend time with our family if we are tied to our desk and tied to our email and tied to all things, because that's the business we've set up. I really am passionate about having a business that works for you so you can live your life. It takes effort. You can do it. I trust you. So, your assignment, we talked about it. 3 tasks that drain your time. Use one of the AI tools to document this. Sounds like one of them you literally just have open while you're going and it does it for you. There's no reason not to do that. There's zero reason. Zero. I don't want to hear money, by the way. The amount of money you can make by providing a valuable service or growing your business will far outweigh the cost of a single AI tool. Now, don't buy 50 AI tools because then that might not work and it might be too expensive, but like baby steps here. Right. You don't need to do everything. You just need to design how everything gets done. Arguably, delegate some of that to someone else. She's so happy. Great job. And then this. Okay, I had so much fun. Look at my hair. I had it chop it off because my hair is not short. This is my long hair. And I was like, I want to know what I look like with short hair. So I Gamma give me a haircut. And I think it's not
They did
bad.
a great job. They did a really great job. Usually,
I
like,
was
you know,
like,
this face or like kind of change your eyes, but
it
wow.
literally just, and it also brought up the lighter sort of up here a little more. Like it even like toned it up.
Wow. And this is a free version, right?
This is a free version. I'm
Oh,
telling you, man. I had
incredible.
some fun with it. So my website's there. My email is Allie at Goff Legal. I know you're gonna be sending out the tools, but that was there's so many tools in there. I know you're gonna compile them. Otherwise, I'm gonna start copying and pasting from the chat. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope this was like some people can take the next step in their AI delegation journey. And yeah, I'm here for it. So thank you for the invitation to present to your lovely community.
Thank you so much. Everyone, if you can, come with me. Let's thank Ali for an amazing presentation.
Thank you for watching the Best Notary Speaker Series. Come join us on Zoom every Wednesday of the month at noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when new episodes are released. This speaker series is sponsored by The Best Notary, your trusted document concierge from Maui to Maine.